Welcome to the Poor Man's Retro Game Room, and today I finally get to talk about retro gaming on the Nintendo Switch. Man, it's probably my favorite modern-ish platform to actually play retro games on. And, it's great because you can take it on the go, of course. You can put it up on the big screen. And the Switch just lends itself very, very well to retro gaming, couch co-op gaming, all that good stuff. So today I just wanted to show you what some of the retro games and modern retro games that I currently have on my Switch and that I'm currently playing on the Switch, and just kind of give you a good idea of what they look like, how they play, and some of my recommendations. But I would really like to hear from you, and I'm sure anybody watching this video would. What are some of the games that you play on your Switch, some of the retro style games? And what are some of the retro or modern retro games that you currently play on your Switch that you recommend? Let's get in the comments, let's talk about it, let's have a good discussion, and anyway, let's get right to it. So here's what I am currently playing and what I currently have on my Switch as far as modern retro games and old school retro games. Let's take a look. The Takeover is just a really good side-scrolling brawler, beat 'em up, great couch co-op, of course. It's got a good storyline that they use a comic book cutscenes to tell the story to you. Story's pretty standard fare, but it's the presentation is just excellent. There's a few different things about this Brawler. First of all, I mean, it's just a beautiful game. It really is. But also, you have your combinations. So if you hit punch repeatedly, it'll put you into a combo. And at the end of that combo, the last punch of that combo varies on if you're pushing up on your controller, down, or towards your enemy. If you push up, it does a kind of an uppercut, throws the enemies in the air to where you can kind of juggle them. Down will smash them into the ground. Sideways just gives them a really big hook, punch. And I think it all pretty much does the same damage, but there are some enemies that you really have to, they're not going to get hit until you get that last punch, or if you have a gun. And you can see here that the action is broken up by different types of gameplay. Here's where you're in a car with a Gatling gun and you're shooting the enemy vans, trying to avoid civilians. There's ramps all over to where you can jump. This part here is, it almost becomes a shooter. You get an automatic weapon with unlimited ammo, and they just let you go to town on zombies, man. And I mean, it's awesome. Graphics are amazing. This game just really is different. Different enough, I should say, to kind of stand out. Really great game, and kind of compares to, of course, Streets of Rage 4. Now, we got to give it Streets of Rage 4. It's an amazing game. Also, with the amount of combos that you get without getting hit, it does count up how many you have. You build up your rage meter, when you go into rage mode, you do not get hit. So you're basically untouched, and you can just dish out the damage. But it also counts up more on your consecutive hit meter, or your count. And then that allows you to fill up your super meter, which gives you a weapon and a special to clear the screen of all your enemies, basically. And that's just done by hitting punch and kick together. So yeah, can't recommend the Takeover enough. Awesome game. I've had a blast with it. Truly a great side-scrolling. You ever get a hankering to play Contra on the NES or Super C on the NES? Man, if you do, and if you love those games, have a lot of nostalgia for those games, you will love Super Cyborg. Super Cyborg is just, I mean, it takes extremely heavy inspiration from the Contra series on the NES. It is great side-scrolling 8-bit shooting, run and gun goodness, man. And a few things that it does a little bit different. Every weapon that Super Cyborg has a rapid fire, but then it also has a charge, so you can charge every weapon up and use that. It's a slower process, but more powerful shot, of course. Level design, everything in this game is true, you know, to the source material that it took inspiration from. Let me put it that way. The difficulty and challenges there, just like it would be in an old 8-bit run and gun on the NES, and you know, but it's cool. Memorizing the levels, you know, holding on to those weapons, and it does have a spread shot. And that is the best weapon, in my opinion, that you can get on this game, just like Contra. But yeah, it's so good. It really is good. The boss fights are excellent. It's really good. I've had a lot of fun with this, and have not got tired of it. It's a great game. I can't recommend Super Cyborg enough. And you can get this on super sale a lot of times. I believe I spent $2.40, you know, on Super Cyborg, on one of those great Nintendo e-store sales, you know, that they have often. Most every game on this list, or that I'm going to talk about today, is the same way. You can get them, you know, if you're patient and you check those sales every weekend. You can usually get the game for around $4. So anyway, Super Cyborg, I highly recommend it.
and that is how Axiom Verge begins. Now this game is available on most of the modern platforms, and you can find it on super sale on most of those platforms a lot. It's on sale a lot, but I love having it on the Switch. Like I said, taking it to go is awesome, and it plays very well on the Switch, of course. And you can see what game Axiom Verge takes heavy inspiration from, and of course that's Super Metroid. Nothing can beat the OG Super Metroid, but this game is amazing. It's really polished, very playable. It's hard to stop playing, and it feels nostalgic even if it's the first time you're playing the game. It's weird. But yeah, I would highly recommend Axiom Verge. The map is awesome. Several different types of weapons. Of course, a Metroidvania where you have to find certain weapons or do certain things to get into the next area. A lot of the areas are locked down at first. It's just an incredible game. And one other thing, this is incredible about this game, is that it was created by one guy, Thomas Happ. It's amazing when you play this game. It's so well polished, so well designed, and just so much fun that it's amazing that one guy did this. But by playing the game, how much tender love and care he put into this game, how much passion he had to have had for this game. So yeah, totally recommend Axiom Verge. It's one of my all-time favorite modern retro games, and really up there, one of my favorite games of all time, honestly. So yeah, if you get a chance, man, play this on any platform. Check out the sales. You can usually get it, dirt cheap, and it's a huge quality and bang for your buck. You'll put some hours into it and you'll absolutely love it. If you love any of the Metroidvania games, you'll love this game. Alright, so I've talked about Axiom Verge way too much. The only other thing I would add is that the boss fights are awesome. Great boss fights. Just a great game. I highly recommend, of course, Axiom Verge. Okay, and the last game that I'm going to talk about is a collection of games, and it's the Blizzard Arcade Collection. Man, this has a lot of bang for its buck. I got this on a sale as well a few months ago, and it's really cool, man. It has first of all, we'll take a look at what all comes with it. It has arts and artifacts. It has inside the game. There's all kinds of stuff. Video interviews, music player, which is really cool. Then you go and it's got RPM Racing for the Super NES. This was an exclusive to the Super NES. It was released in 1991. It comes with the Lost Vikings, both SNES and Genesis version, along with the Definitive Edition. It has Rock and Roll Racing. It has a Definitive Edition. It has a 4-player edition. It has the Super NES and the Sega Genesis editions, respectively, as well. Really good stuff, man. Rock and Roll Racing's an expensive game for either system, Super NES or the Genesis. Blackthorn. It has the Definitive Edition. It also has the Super NES edition, and it has the Sega 32-bit the Sega 32X version of Blackthorn, which I own physically. And yeah, that's a really expensive game, and pretty hard to get your hands on. It took me a while to get it. But excellent game. So a lot of bang for your buck here. Then we also have Lost Vikings 2. And this was a Super NES exclusive released in 1997. So this was a really cool collection. There's a lot of those collections up on the Nintendo store, the eStore, including like your Capcom collection, Street Fighter, the Beat 'em Ups collection, Castlevania collection, the Contra collection. So there's all kinds of ways on these modern platforms to play retro games and to emulate retro games. But anyway, there's a lot more games that I wanted to cover on this video, but I'm going pretty long here. And if you would like to see any more modern or retro games that I have on my Switch that I would recommend or that we could take a look at, let me know in the comments, and maybe we'll do a part 2. Alrighty, so I do highly recommend Blizzard Arcade Classic. Well, thank you so much for joining me today. This was a lot of fun, and I hope you got some value out of this video. And again, I'd love to hear your recommendations, love to hear your comments. I think all of us would, and let's have a good discussion. And thank you so much for clicking on the video, making it to the end of this video, and I hope you have a great rest of your day and a great holiday coming up. Have a Merry Christmas.